Hi. How's everyone doing? I'm late. I'm so sorry. I hope you guys are wonderful. I'm so happy to be here. Oh my gosh. Happy Sunday morning. How is everyone? I hope you can hear me. Let me know if the volume's okay. Oh, good. Susie's in the house. I love her. She's so awesome. Hi. Hi, everyone. Oh, you guys are sweet. I'm here. I'm barely here, but thank you all for your sweet wishes. I'm just so touched and moved. And I wanted to do this live for you. But I totally overslept. And I'm just confessing the truth, keeping it real. Good morning. So I thought I would give myself my Aries cup today so I could have a little extra oomph. Is everyone here? Oh, I love having you all here. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what we're going to do today, and I'm really excited. But hold on, I got to get one little thing. Here. Here we go. Good morning. Oh, I know. She is awesome. I love all your comments. Oh my gosh, greetings from California. I'm in freezing cold Seattle, like freezing cold. It's so cold I had to wear my jacket. Yay! Mimi, I'm so glad you're here. Hi, Sue. I'm going to write you a separate note later. I have to tell you something so sweet. Oh, Warren's here from Bangkok. I can't believe it. No problem. We know you're a freewheeling Sash. Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't put myself to bed early enough last night, and then I overslept, and then I went, wow! You have a sexy morning voice. Hardly, but thanks. Yes, I know. It's 9:30 is like really early for me to do a live. Okay, you guys, so I want you to talk, and we've got Susie and, hold on, do I have my, oh, yes, and I have my phone, so Susie, you can text me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the signs. So oh, you guys are cute, walking with my umbrella. You guys are adorable. I want to read all the chats, but I got to dive in because I know everybody's been waiting and I'm late as usual. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is, what does each sign need in a relationship to want to marry someone? What kind of marriage partner does each sign need? And this is a little bit different than, you know, what does each sign need to fall in love or to date or to be attracted? I'm talking about what will make somebody stand in that commitment forever, for eternity. This is basically talking about the deepest core value of each sign in order to make that deepest commitment, in order to be willing to not be afraid of making the commitment. And so this is really big time. This is kind of like the deepest part of the soul or the heart inside each sign. So what I want you to do is, I'm so glad you guys are all here. What I want you guys to do is I want you to look at your sun sign and your moon sign and your rising sign, of course. But I really also want you to look at the houses. The houses are super important. And so I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so hopefully you have your chart. I don't have my chart here, but hopefully you have your chart. So in order for you to find out what your core value is, your deepest core value inside partnership, I'm going to give you an example, okay? So this is how I want you guys to do it. So let's say you have a Taurus moon in the third house. you need to listen to both the Taurus and the Gemini parts of this video to know what you most need in order to make a lifetime marriage commitment. So now, you know the signs. I know you know all the signs and you know the order, but I hope you guys, I'm pretty positive, tell me yes if you know, but do you know the signs that rule the natural zodiacal houses? I'll tell them to you again if you want me to, but they go in the same exact order. So Aries rules the first house, Taurus rules the second house, Gemini rules the third house, Cancer rules the fourth house, and you guys have to know these. Leo rules the fifth, Virgo the sixth, Libra the seventh. Are you guys good? Scorpio the eighth, Sagittarius rules the ninth house, Capricorn the 10th house, Aquarius the 11th house, and Pisces rules the 12th house. So if you have a Cancer sun in the ninth house, you have to listen to both parts of this video that is both Cancer and what is the sign for the ninth house? Sagittarius. So you have to listen to the Sagittarius and the Cancer segments of this video to understand your sun, your soul, okay? And to understand that contract. And I'm going to talk about those core values. And then you have to blend them together in order to understand what you really need in probably a partnership, what you need to attract. So let's say you have your rising sign in Libra. Well, then you need to listen to numerous parts. The Libra part, the Cancer part for the sun, and the ninth house part, Sagittarius. And so on and so on. So you can see that you're going to cast a wider net. So what I have found out in my relationship readings is that you're looking for, in an odd way, pieces of your own self in another person, or an acceptance of those pieces of yourself. So some signs look for themselves more than others. Does this make sense? Oh, that's so nice of Ken. So Ken wrote it down for all of you. I love you, Ken. Where are you, Ken? And if you guys want to super chat me, I want you to feel free that you can super chat me and ask a question, and I'll try to take a look at your chart. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see if I can even do that. I don't know if my other computer is all, yeah, it's on fumes. I have to go get my charger. And if you guys want to super chat. Oh my God. Hold on. I'm in half pajamas, half clothes. Hold on. I don't want to unplug something important. Okay, so I can do your chart if you guys want to super chat me, but let's do the charts at the end so you guys can get all the information. Okay, hold on. I have my software up. Okay, so we're going to start with Aries, okay? Oh yeah, and Susie will do that for me. Susie takes care of me. I love her. And for anybody who is a super supporter, by the way, you know you get your discounts off on readings, so you guys can book something with Susie offline if you want to. Okay, so let's dive in. I want to talk about Aries. So Aries is interesting. So what I want to say to you is this: if you have your sun, your moon, your Venus, or your Mars in Aries. Or if you have a lot of personal planets, Sun, Moon, Venus, Mercury, Mars, in a different sign in the first house. So if you have a lot of personal planets in the first house, or if you have your Sun, Moon, Venus, or Mars there, okay? Or if you're Aries rising. So you guys all know already that this person is all about courage and independence and adventure. And they are going to make a commitment. They're going to be able to make a commitment. It's not very easy to marry an Aries. Who here is married to an Aries? And by the way, if you're already married, this is what your partner needs down at the soul level, down at the core value. This is what they need to stay in a marriage to be happy, to be truly fulfilled and content. So is anybody involved with an Aries or married to an Aries? So Aries needs their partner to see them as courageous, who understands their ferocious independence, and somebody who will revel in life's adventures. Down deep inside, at the deepest level, they are truly the competitive hero, and they will only be with somebody who really does see the hero in them. And they need somebody who can handle the disruptor in them. They have disruptive energy. They don't care if they create conflict, to tell you the truth. That's not what bothers them. And they want to fight for justice. And so they need somebody who seems to need a hero, who seems to need or want or appreciate or like the hero in them. Now, they're not out there looking for a weak-willed person who needs a hero. That's not what I mean. But they like to be the champion. They want to champion another person. And so you have to appreciate that kind of energy coming at you. And you have to appreciate that they're willing to take on justice. They're sort of a vigilante in a way. And they really also need somebody who lets them do as they please and whatever they please, and doesn't try to correct them. They don't want to be around anybody who doesn't trust their way, doesn't trust their judgment. They want to be kind of the leader, and so they really do want somebody who will allow them to lead their own life on their own terms. And they cannot handle anybody bossing them around. So, not yet married, but planning of an arranged marriage. Does anybody have, my mom is a Scorpio married to an Aries, and they're both ruled by Mars. So the Scorpio probably does let the Aries, have the louder power in the relationship, but she probably can handle their own. They do need somebody who is strong and who is also independent. They cannot do, needy, clingy, glommy. They can't do it. So they really down deep inside want to lead. They want to take charge. And they really do need a supportive partner that sort of adores that about them. Aries will also look for power in their partner. If their partner can't hold a candle to them, they probably can't be involved with them for very long. They could probably date them, but not marry them. Aries wants to be a power couple. Aries wants their partner to have significance and power too, because they're attracted to power. They're kind of addicted to power, to tell you the truth. They're the power adrenaline junkie. Aries is. Is anybody here involved with an Aries? They're Aries Rising, Aries Moon. We'll have a little bit of that. So you might just have a little touch of this because it's a portion of your chart. Or if you have a lot of Aries, this would be a lot of your chart. But it is not easy to get an Aries to marry you because they're so powerful. They oftentimes attract weaker people, and then that's never satisfying, and they exhaust themselves, and they don't like always dominating. It's exhausting. But at the same time, they don't know how not to. So then they need a partner who is stronger, not stronger than them, but just a stronger partner, and then they butt heads with them. And so then that's not easy. So it takes Aries usually a little bit of time to figure out that sweet spot. Let me read your comments. Oh, Heidi, yes, I guess your subscription ran out. We want you to be a super supporter. Aries Moon, we go hard for those we love. Yes. Okay, DJ is involved with an Aries. And what do you say about your Aries that you're involved with? Is it easy? Yeah, I'm not a Vedic astrologer. Thank you for saying that. I use Placidus. I'm a Western astrologer and Western tropical astrologer. And I'm an evolutionary astrologer. Which of the big three, Sun, Moon, and Rising, is more important? Honestly, for a marriage, I think you have to take the sun and the moon at the same value. Like if you only spoke to my sun, you would really miss out on what I need around love. But if you don't see my identity through the sun and help feed my soul, then you never get to my moon. So the moon is the heart, the sun is the soul, the essence of you. And then the rising is just how I do life, right? So hopefully you appreciate my rising, because the rising is the front door to get to the soul and the heart. So when you ask about alien, when you ask about what is most important, you really kind of have to blend them all, the sun, rising, and the moon. And then I do take into consideration, of course, the Venus and the Mars. And the Mars is going to show you how you're sexually wired and how you're energetically wired, and Venus is going to show you their value system. So it's a lot of different pieces, but once you guys start knowing astrology more, you're going to be able to put it together more easily. Oh good, Heidi rejoined. Yay! And you have a crown. You've been with us for a year. Yay! Okay, Susie's on a lot of these answers. I'm Aries Rising and Sag Moon. Okay, well that makes it really a lot easier, because those are brothers, brother signs. And so you got to wait till we get to the Sagittarius part, because the moon is really, the moon is the part of you that will make the commitment for eternity. So they have to touch your moon. Your partner has to touch your moon. And this is partner male or female. Okay, how to see a Western chart. Niarika. Well, you can go to my website, soulnavigation.com, and you can buy one. My gorgeous natal charts, I designed them myself. Anybody who doesn't have a chart, you can buy one in my shop at soulnavigation.com, or you can just get an easy one on the internet. I don't think they're as beautiful. I don't think they're as easy to read, for free on the internet somewhere. Just Google it. Astrodienst, I think, or maybe somebody else knows another free site. Let's talk about Taurus. So basically, if you're trying to date an Aries, you really need to see your Aries in the archetype of the hero constantly and speak to that archetype. Now, Taurus, or if you have a lot of planets in the second house, the Sun, Moon, Venus, or Mars, or again, that strong stellium, or if you have Taurus rising, Taurus needs to feel secure with their partner. They're not going to marry somebody who creates a tremendous amount of drama or insecurity in them. So Tauruses have this innate power to create financial abundance. And in order to want to marry you, they have to believe that you value that in them and that you're able to do that with them too. In a way, you need to sort of be an asset that way. They value saving money and buying quality things. So you can't be a real waster. You can't be somebody who isn't kind of well managed. They also feel like they need their partner to put in as much effort, energy, love, time, and nurturance as they do. They like a good value, a good exchange of time and consistency and love. They also absolutely have to have really good sexual and sensual, warm, loving, consistent connection. And if a Taurus does not get fed with the senses, they will leave. And I would say at the core, the biggest thing a Taurus needs, and this is really, really big, is they need their partner to see very deeply and relish and cherish their value and their worth to their family, to the relationship, to their work, to the world. Like, they need to know that they matter, they make a difference, they're of value, they are important, and they are worth it. And when you start talking to a Taurus about, wow, do you know how much you do? Do you know how great you are? Do you know how much your loyalty and your consistency? Do you know how safe I feel with you? They will marry you. And you need to reciprocate those same values. Taurus is kind of looking for themselves. And it's because what they value, they feel is just so, so, so important. And they don't like to go outside of themselves too much. They like themselves. They like setting up the world the way they have done so. And so they really need a partner in order to marry them to step into their world more than the Taurus can step into your world. If you meet a Taurus at a very young age, they can do it. But if you meet somebody over the age of 36, you probably have to do their world. Is anybody involved with a Taurus? Or are you a Taurus? Let's see. Melina says, oh God, I was so bad at doing all this for the Tauruses I dated. That's probably because you're a Sag. Sag has a hard time doing Taurus energy, for sure. Okay. Yeah, Cancer. Susie says her parents were a Cancer and a Taurus, and they were married for 60 years. Well, Cancer knows how to do Taurus energy really easily, but the core value, the deepest thing you need to do if you really want to marry a Taurus is tell them that they are of such deep and genuine value, and they matter, they mean something, and tell them what they mean. Okay, so Raisa, can you relate to this? Oh, hi, Ada from Mexico. I want to go back. We're going to go back to Mexico for Christmas. KT, I know a lot of Tauruses, and you are right. Yeah, you guys are cute. Cancer Taurus is my absolute favorite. Yeah, Cancer Taurus is such a beautiful time that I chose my marriage date, my wedding date, to be a Cancer day with a Taurus moon. I really wanted that. I wanted that nurturing energy, because as a fire and air sign, we really needed the ability to like slow down. By the way, you guys, if you are planning on getting married, oh my God, do not get married without getting an astrology reading. You have to pick a marriage date that works, because that marriage date becomes your relationship. It is the chart, that marriage date. You have your chart, they have their chart, and then you have your marriage chart. And that marriage chart is the energy at the moment that you took your vows that will play out over the course of your whole relationship. So you don't want to get married in Mercury in retrograde. You don't want to get married when the moon is on Pluto. You don't want to get married when Pluto is rising, right? You want to get married when Venus is highlighted. Yeah. This is Aurora. She's saying hi. She's so cute. So book an astrology reading with anyone at Team Soul Navigation if you're needing a marriage date. Okay, let's talk about Gemini. Gemini rising, Moon in the third house, the Sun in the third house, Mars, Venus, Mercury in the third house. And not just Mercury. Mercury would have to create a stellium. But if you have like your Moon in the third house or your Sun in the third house, you would want to listen to this placement. So Gemini is really interesting. They're very difficult to marry. I think Aries is hard to get down the aisle, and I think Gemini is very hard to get down the aisle. Gemini might be a little bit easier than Aries. I know that sounds funny, but Gemini is more likely to take a chance and make a mistake, not be afraid of making a mistake, and Aries doesn't want to make a mistake. So Gemini needs a partner at the deepest level around somebody who will, like, they'll make a commitment to somebody who lets them express and enjoy expressing their ideas. They have a ton of smart, stimulating ideas, and they like a person who also has big ideas, fun ideas, and loves to talk. They need somebody who is really good at communicating, because at the core of themselves, they need a communicator. They need somebody who will talk about ideas and feelings. Or if you're not a good communicator, you have to be a brilliant listener at the very least. But I would be shocked if Gemini married somebody who was a poor communicator, because communication is the key to their whole life. If you make them feel awkward in communication, they're not going to marry you. They need an ease and a flow around talking. And they love making people laugh. So if you don't laugh at your jokes, they will think you're boring. And if you make them laugh and you have a wit, and a wit is like an intelligent humor, if you're witty, that's pretty much hands down a guarantee, if they are attracted to you, that they will marry you. If you can make your Gemini laugh with your wit. You have to appreciate about them their social depth and be socially adept as well. They know how to work a room, and you should admire that in them. But where people get hung up with Geminis is they get jealous of that. And so if you're going to get jealous of their social ability, that is not going to work. That's a deal breaker. So if you're a Cancer with a Gemini and you don't like that they talk to everybody, they make everybody laugh, they make everybody think, they're so fascinating and stimulating, they're the networker, they're going out, and you're going to feel like you're dead weight. You're going to feel like you're clipping their wings, and they are not going to sit down on the couch and live out a boring ass marriage at home with you. They will leave the house. So even if you can't join. So I think their partner at the soul level needs to understand their curiosity about life and appreciate it and embrace it. And they're only going to marry you if you full on accept their crazy ways. And they are a little crazy. And you really have to be willing. You have to really be willing to allow them to have this sort of joie de vivre, if you will. They're usually pretty happy people. Also, on a side note, so I think that's the core, like their curiosity. Allow them to be curious about people without bringing jealousy or without dampening them or trying to hold them down or clip their wings. But there's an ambivalence that lives inside of Gemini. And if you really want to get your Gemini to commit to you, if you can handle their ambivalence, you will win the jackpot. And their ambivalence is the part of them. Tell me if you guys are a Gemini or if you're involved with a Gemini and if you can relate to this. and that is that they really weigh pros and cons, and a lot of times they get stuck in not being able to make a decision. They don't live ever in a black or white world, ever. They don't. They live in a gray world, and it's a little bit of yes and a little bit of no. And so they're quite ambivalent. They don't always have a clear path in front of them, and they need a partner that is okay with that. So if you're a Capricorn involved with a Gemini and you're just like, hey, come on, we already weighed the pros and cons of option A and option B, and you need to make a decision. Come on, get with it. Get your plan in place. Oh my God, they will die. So you have to really and truly be okay with their ambivalence, with them not knowing what way to go. Are you guys involved with one? Tell me if you guys are involved with one, with a Gemini. Oh, thank you. Those perks are really worth every penny. I do try to be generous, and also know if you guys are a super supporter, by the way, we have so many super supporters today, that you get discounted readings. You get discounted readings on from anybody on my team. Not me, but any one of my team members, you get discounts. So get your readings if you're a super supporter. I can see in the camera my Band-Aid. You guys, thank you so much. I just had surgery, and you guys were all so sweet to me. I just really appreciate it. You're just so stinking sweet. And if you're not following me on Instagram, please do, because I give away for my super supporters on the 1st of the month. So it's just in 2 weeks, I do a giveaway, and I'm going to be giving away a prize. It'll be a report or a reading or something. It'll be something good. And you can only know about it on Instagram. So I'm at soul_navigation. Personal advice and vlog. Dear Harmony, he was ambivalent about me. Yes, and Geminis oftentimes are. And if you can just be okay with somebody not truly knowing how they feel about you right away or all the time, or like, you're okay, but I'm sorting it out. If you're strong enough to deal with that, they need somebody who can be okay with them not knowing. And that's really hard. Not a lot of people can do that. That's why it's hard being with a Gemini. It is a little bit of a Libra trait, Jaded Kate. It's I think you're talking about ambivalence, but or the freedom or whatever, but that's air. That's all the air signs. Jasmine Penny, I'm a super sorter, but I can't get any content. I think you just joined, right? And I just got out of surgery, and I'm behind like 10 people. So I'm sending out the perks. I'll work on it today. But I was down for the count all week. I'm so sorry if it's slow. But, and are you talking about the videos? Because there's a members only videos section too. So just send me an email, or I think I recall your name coming in, Jasmine, and I promise you I'll get to you. Oh, okay. Yes, I do remember you, Jasmine. Anyways, just send me an email. I was going to write you back and tell you that, but we'll talk via email, okay, Jasmine? I don't want to take everybody's time for our conversation, but don't worry. Don't worry. You'll get all your stuff. So let's see. Where are we? Oh, Cancer, 4th house. Okay, so this one is really pretty deep. And if you have your sun here, or your moon, or your Mars, or your Venus, you can, what I want to say is, or if you're Cancer rising, or if you have a Cancer moon or a Cancer sun, this one is really interesting. Cancers absolutely do not want to make a mistake, because they don't usually leave. And if a Cancer has left your life, that was probably the hardest thing they've ever had to do. So they're very nervous about choosing the right partner. And their partner needs to feel like home. So they're going to choose somebody who feels like family, who reminds them of family, who nurtures them, and somebody who can put the Cancer's feelings first, somebody who can be their safe place. And they need somebody who invokes their heart wanting to care for you. So in a way, you kind of need your Cancer. They want to be needed, and that's how they feel of value. You also, and a lot of people aren't going to understand how to do this or what this even means, but they need to have an emotional attunement into your partner. The Cancer person's partner needs to be emotionally attuned to them. Oh my God, they will marry you if you can do that. So don't be an oblivious ass to their feelings. You have to understand their feelings. You have to come with a tender heart. The other thing is they're going to test you on this. Can you keep their secrets? And if you can't keep their secrets, they will never marry you. You have to be able to keep their secrets. You must be able to help them build a home that's a sanctuary for them. They want a home that is safe and beautiful, lovely, calm, tender. And you probably are going to have to want children, or at the very least, animals. Cancers need to build a family of some kind. Not all of them do. Some Cancers don't, but most do. And if you're a Cancer with a lot of Gemini, then maybe you don't. But most Cancers will want to have a family with at least animals. And they're also probably going to struggle marrying you, or not even choose you in the final end, if you don't like their family, if you don't like their mom, or if you talk smack about their family. They can do that, you can't. So if you don't like their mama, if you don't like their family, if you're going to try to cut them off from their family, they will not marry you. That's their deal breaker. So family and nurturance is so, so, so important. And that's why I liked getting married on a Cancer day, because family is critical to me. And if you have your moon in Sagittarius, but it's in the 4th house, this holds true for you, even with a wild Sagittarius moon that loves to travel. So pay attention to those houses. Alexander Capital says, Cancer moon here. This is so accurate. Thank you. Wow. Pika Lee says, wow, I'm a Cancer Mars, and I was just thinking about how I want someone emotionally attuned to me. Yes. Personal advice and vlog, dear Harmony. Venus in Cancer, yes, this would be your value system, and this would be a slice of you. You would want this. Cancer Rising and Scorpio Sun dating a Cancer Sun. Really want to marry them. Oh, that's good. Well, one thing about you, Raval, is your Scorpio Sun will keep their secrets. And let them know that. They're going to test you on that. They will test you. They'll tell you a small secret that doesn't matter and see what you do with it. Sue Smith, I love you. We are both Cancer Rising, married 52 years. Yeah, that's emotionally tuned. And when you marry your own rising sign, your entire chart, every house is set up the same. So every single one of your houses is set up the same. So you guys would, both have, you would both have the cusp of each house, the doorway into each house, each sandbox would be exact. So that's real attunement when you marry your own rising sign. Okay, Karen's ready for the Leo moon in the 4th. And so Karen, you have to blend this next one, Leo, with Cancer. All about home. Yeah, T. Vallejo, Cancer moon, all about home. I'm a Sag moon in the 4th house, so accurate. Carolyn, yeah, home. So that's a really interesting combination, right? Sagittarius moon in the 4th house. So you have to wait till we get to Sag, but that's a big moon. And so, Sag moon is a really big moon, but it's in the tiny 4th house. So it has a large quality but it really values family. Okay, are Scorpios really compatible with Cancers? I doubt it. If the Cancer is strong enough, if it's not a wimpy Cancer, yes. My brother's a Cancer and he's been married 28 years to his Scorpio. They really are compatible. They get each other. But the Cancer has to have a lot of strength in their chart. I'll tell you, my brother also has Mars in the first house. So I think that that's why it works. Okay, let's talk about Leo and the fifth house. So a lot of planets in the fifth, the moon in the fifth, the sun in the fifth, Venus in the fifth, Venus, Mars, Mercury, a stellium in the fifth, Leo rising. So in order to marry you, the Leo needs the partner to appreciate their massive generosity. Leos are very generous. They also need, truthfully, a loyal admirer in their partner that raises them up and publicly compliments them and publicly is very proud of them, beaming with delight that they get to be with you. You, the Leo, just, I'm so happy I get to be with you. And they really need a partner that can be childlike and playful too at times, like creatively playful with them. They want you, the Leo person or the fifth house person wants you to indulge in their creative pursuits and energy and complement their creativity. So if they're singing at a show, they want you there. They want you to know how great they are. If they're an artist, they want you to hang the painting in the house. They want you to show them off. They want you to be proud of their accomplishments and their pursuits. Yes, they need tons of words of affirmation, and you kind of can't give a Leo enough. So they really need deep admiration and appreciation from their partner. They need a partner that will also allow them to have their way about 90% of the time. They want their way. And so they need a partner who can really be okay with their way. And their way is usually pretty damn good. So, I don't know why you would say no. But be willing to be their audience a lot of the time. Let them tell the story at the dinner party. Let them shine. Let them have the spotlight. Don't steal their thunder. Don't compete for the attention. These people were born the king or the queen, and you want to respect them as such. And they like that. They have to know from you how special they are, how unique they are. They need to feel gloriousness in this relationship in order for them to be motivated to sustain it forever. Now, hopefully they really are all these things, because they don't want a bunch of fake BS. They hope that you really feel that. Also, you can get into trouble if you're like the groveling peasant. So hopefully you bring, some equality to the relationship, and you're the queen complimenting the king. That's the best set of archetypes. In my last video where I was like, how do you get them to forgive you? Don't be the peasant in Leo's life, because then if you adore them, then they just walk all over you and they treat you like shit. Don't be the groupie. That's not what I mean. But be the true partner. Barack Obama was a Leo, and Michelle, if you look at her, she is his staunchest advocate, right? And she admires him and speaks so highly of him. She does it in a Capricorn way. So she has quite the regalness about her, but she's right there applauding him. So that's a great, I just thought of that one off the top of my head. That's a great example of what I'm saying. She's no peasant. She's not begging for him. She's very regal. And he also says almost all the time he speaks of her, I wouldn't be the man that I am without her. And it's true. So you kind of have to prop your Leo up with applause without losing your own power, because they don't date the peasant, and they certainly don't marry the peasant. They will marry the queen, or they will marry the king. Does this make sense? Are you guys getting it? Leos are complicated, and I hope you guys did watch my video called How to Forgive Them. And watch the Leo part of that video, because Leo is a little bit twisted in getting them to forgive you. In that video, I talk about rationing out the energy. It's very tricky. If you overgive to a Leo, they will trample you. They don't like that. They see that as weak. Let me read what you're saying. I relate to this. Cancer rising compatibility with Leo rising. Well, I think Cancer rising compatibility with Leo rising is interesting because I think the Cancer would allow the Leo to just shine. Would just allow the Leo to have the spotlight. And if you guys want me to look at your chart, I will. I'll do that at the end if you want to super chat me. I don't know Michelle's chart. I've never done it. I just know that she's a Capricorn. Who is that? Kramika y'all. You're so cute. I'm not even going to read your comment out loud, but you made me burst out laughing. You're so sweet. And I'm like half in my pajamas on Sunday morning with you all. And my coffee's running out. I need to tell my hubby to come bring me another coffee. Okay, let's do Virgos. You guys are cute. Oh, Ken has Leo Venus conjunct the ascendant. No wonder why I liked you. I knew I liked you, just even in text, even on chat, Ken. And you must be quite charming. Leo Venus on the ascendant, and the ascendant is Leo. That's quite charming. That's the benevolent king. And you must be creative too, a performer or creative. You must, in my video, did you guys watch the top 3 most beautiful signs? I didn't put Leo in the top 3, and I got some slack for it. People kind of got mad at me. But not all Leos are attractive, but they are compelling. All Leos are compelling, not all Leos are attractive. But with that Venus there, it would probably make you very handsome, or you'd have a razzle-dazzle about you in some way. Leo moons are such beautiful people. Yes, I agree. I married a Leo moon, and I have to say, I do benefit from the Leo moon on the daily. It's really lovely. Let's talk about Virgo. Virgo gets such a bad rap, and I hate it, but not on my channel. Virgo is so highlighted, and I love Virgo. My life would suck without the Virgos in it. Virgo has saved me 1,000 times. Virgo is going to be there when the Titanic goes down. Virgo is going to be already like in the life raft, in the boat, saving you. So let's boycott channels that give Virgo a bad rap. They are incredible human beings, and they're misunderstood. I think a lot of people treat them like a pair of shoes, and it's not fair. So I love Virgo moons. I love Virgo risings. I love Virgo suns, and I love a packed 6th house. Now, I will say one thing. For a marriage chart, Virgo is the house of Virgo, the 6th house. It's a little bit late in the day. It's between 6 and 8 p.m. That if you're born between 6 and 8 p.m., you probably have, in the United States, you probably have a 6th house sun. Now, I just want to say, I don't like picking that house, that time to get married. So I don't like having a marriage chart with a 6th house sun, because it turns into too much work, too much service. So I usually like to get it between the 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock hour when the sun is in the 7th house, which is Libra's house. Are you guys following me? Those are just little tangential nuggets. I want to see what you're saying. Virgo moon, sun, Venus, and the 9th house with Sag rising. Oh, that's funny, Tiffany. That's kind of awesome. That's being able to see the big picture and the little tiny details. Yes, Kate, Jaded Kate. Yes, I have a full 6th house, 6 planets in the 6th house. Oh my God. NASA, I freaking love Virgos. I'm a Virgo moon in the 12th. Whoa, so you have a reversal. So Virgo moon in the 12th house is like deeply spiritual and able to put a spiritual practice into play. Virgo Venus in the 4th house. Isn't this a bad placement? No, that's not a bad placement. You know, that's very loving. I mean, that is a true, you probably need to have true love in your life to be happy. It would be hard for you to be a player with Venus and Virgo in the 4th house. You need to feel very safe. Tiffany, I'm on Virgo, 6th house placements. Here we go. Let's go. Let's dive in. Okay. First, if you're with a Virgo and you want them to marry you, you have to value and even admire. You have to acknowledge their competency, their skills, their value, their ability. So if they're in the garage and they've got the whole entire motorcycle into pieces and parts and they're putting it back together, you need to be like, wow, you're amazing. Wow, you're smart. Can you teach me? You need to value them and see them in a way in your relationship as a mentor in life. So either they're your mentor or they're a mentor for others, and appreciate them and treat them as such. Like, wow, you are so talented. You really taught me a lot. And ask them for their advice. They are the critic. They are the discerner. They know the difference between good and great and excellent and extraordinary, where you're just like, is it good or bad? You know, they live inside of the tiny details. I mean, they're like the food critic where they're like, this has a touch too much sugar in it. And I'm thinking, is there any sugar in it at all? I don't even taste it. You know, they can taste, this has smoked paprika. I'm like, oh, I just thought it was paprika. I mean, right? So they have the art of discernment. So ask them their opinion because they value their opinion. And they usually are right because they check the facts before they speak. And that was pretty funny in my forgiveness video too, with Virgos, how to get a Virgo to forgive you. Bring the facts. So ask them for advice. They like to serve. And so they need a partner that they can serve a little bit. They don't want to be exhausted. They don't want you to be a project necessarily, but they do like to be helpful. They like to be of assistance. And this is how they find their self-worth. It's through service. But don't be exhausting, but do let them help you help yourself. Let them help you improve you. They will love that. They'll love to help improve you, the house, your pet's health, your diet, your workout program. They love goals and achieving those goals. And if you don't allow them to help you or advise you in this way, they can't find their value in the relationship and they won't marry you. They need to find their worth and their value to you inside this relationship to know that they matter and they mean something. So Virgo has to be of service. And when you're in service, you're not in relationship with self, you're in relationship with other. So if I serve, think about being a waitress just for a minute. Well, if there's nobody in the restaurant, then there's nobody to serve. So Virgos kind of have to have partnership. They're pretty easy to marry, but they find their value through their connection into serving another. So what do you value about your Virgo? Tell them that all the time. So I value so much the healthy food you cook for me, because I would eat like shit if it wasn't for you in my life. Okay, now they know they're important. So they need somebody who appreciates their deep talents for discernment and for advice and be in awe of them. And they need, because nobody is, people just take advantage of their service, and they need somebody who really, really values them. They're usually underpaid and overworked. And so I want to tell you another thing. They have to have somebody who has a little bit of thick skin, because they need somebody who can handle criticism too. And if you can handle their critique, their criticism, and know that they're not being mean. They just think they're being helpful. Just see it that way. Like, wow, that was great. That was so helpful. I'm glad you told me that. Then they'll marry you. That's what they need to be in a marriage and to be happy. And if you're married to a Virgo, if you can do that and not get your feelings hurt all the time by them giving you good ideas, they will feel connected to you. Yeah, so I love all your comments. I'm reading them a little bit. Yes, it's a tricky balance to maintain asking for help and not exhausting them as well. And how I do that with my Virgo friends, I say, I know you're already overcommitted, but I need a little bit of help. And if you can't do it, I truly understand. And maybe there's somebody else that you know, but I need help with putting this event together. And there's just nobody like you. Would you be willing to do it with me? So I sometimes give them a choice. I also really pump my Virgos up with a lot of appreciation. So I think they like doing things for me because it's a well of love that they get to drink from. So I never employ my Virgos, if you will, into doing jobs for me without an exchange of real value. Does that make sense? And so Virgos are tireless if you fill them up with, I don't want to say accolades, but appreciation and respect for their abilities. That goes a long way. Your dollar goes a long way with Virgo. I'll just say your dollar. That's why I say they're underpaid, because they give 3 times more effort than anybody else in the whole entire zodiac, including Scorpio, including Taurus, that have a lot of stamina. And you only pay them $1. So you'd have to pay a Sagittarius $5 to get 1/10 of the work. And you could pay Virgo $1 and you'd get 3 times the work. So appreciate that in them. Do you guys understand what I'm talking about? I hope so. Let me know. Libras and Libra Rising, Libra Moon, Libra Moon, and Libra or a lot of planets in the 7th house. This one is really interesting. Oh, and look at that, Alien Woods, 10 pounds. That's so sweet. Thank you. Tell me if you want me to look up something specific for you. And I probably have you in my database already. Not positive, I'm pretty sure I do. But you have to tell me your name and what you want me to look up. What question do you have, basically? Thank you so much. That's so nice. If you guys want to super chat me, the money supports my channel, and I really, really appreciate it. So sweet of you. And I need to get a new microphone, so I'm going to do that with my super chats. Thank you. So helpful. So let's talk about Libra. You know, Libras will marry you. It's pretty easy to marry a Libra once they're in love with you. They're very kind. They need a partner, I should say, that is the most like them. So this person, Libra, is sort of in search for their own self, the reflection of themselves. They will marry you if you are kind, if you're giving, if you're fair-minded, just like themselves. You know, they're the sign that's most in search of themselves when they're looking for a marriage partner. They want somebody who emulates their style, their sense of self. And I also want to say that you could reflect parts of themselves that are underneath the surface or hidden or underexpressed, but inside of themselves, but they're too afraid to show it. And so you could be somebody who has the courage, and you're showing that boldness that they want to, but they haven't. So they need somebody who appreciates communication, and they also really need a partner that is like diplomatic in all situations. They don't like crass, ugly, ugly speak, ugly talk. They're not going to marry a loudmouth, drunk ass. They're just not. They're not going to marry somebody who creates discord. They would really have a hard time with Aries if Aries wasn't diplomatic or polished or refined. They'll fall in love with somebody who genuinely puts other people first. Somebody who has good manners and takes a genuine interest in other people. It doesn't have to be them. They don't need you to take an interest in them, but they want to be with a truly good person who thinks of others and somebody who is not selfish. But most of all, this is what I think Libra needs, okay? And this is a little bit of a secret because Libras won't say this. And let me know if you guys can relate to this. Most of all, Libras need a partner to love them when they take off their mask, when they show their darker side, when they aren't perfect, when they're not wearing makeup, when they're selfish, when they didn't take a bath, when they're a little bit sloppy. They need somebody who appreciates their beauty, but they need somebody who doesn't need them to be perfect all the time. Libra is really very afraid to show their true colors, their true face. They feel like you won't love me if you see the dark side of me. And so they need somebody to say, I love you no matter what. I love you when you're all polished and you're wearing your perfect face and your perfect mask. And I love your soul too. And they don't find that in the world very often. So sometimes they don't show, this is what happens. Sometimes they don't show their dark side, their uglier side, if you will, their truth, their authentic self, because they want to create harmony. And they feel that their authentic self is going to disrupt this relationship or this connection. And so therefore they kind of lie, or they live a lie a little bit to create harmony, to soothe you, to just piece things together. But then what happens over time is they create a false harmony. They're living inside a lie. And so they have to have a partner with just one person in the world that they don't have to fake it with. And that's who they will marry. And if you can do that for a Libra right away, they won't want to be with anybody else. They're just so afraid that who they really, really are is going to create conflict. And when they learn that who they really are just creates more complexity and beauty, and that you really love them for that, they will fall so madly, madly in love with you. I mean, that's really the deep, soulful truth of Libra. Can you guys relate? Oh, welcome, Kristen, to the super supporters. Yay! You guys get so many perks. You're going to get your entire horoscope for the year. You're going to get your gorgeous natal chart. You're going to get discounts on everybody on my team who gives readings. You'll get discounts on team readings. Let's see. Okay, and Kristen, and also you're going to get access to all my videos, my parties. Oh, by the way, I am going to do another video for my super supporters, and I'm going to use real charts. I'm going to use real charts. Let's see. Susie's talking to me. Okay. Oh, thank you, KT. I really appreciate you. Okay, let's do Scorpio. Now, that's so sweet. Thank you for your super chats. I'm so grateful. Okay, so Scorpio, 8th house. If you have a lot of planets in the 8th house, or if you have a Scorpio moon, Scorpio sun, Scorpio rising, Scorpios are interesting. To marry a Scorpio, you must be willing on some level for your soul to be owned by your Scorpio. They will not be with somebody who won't allow them to own you. This bond must be so deep that you are capable of becoming enmeshed with them. So you must be able to absolutely go so psychologically deep into their mind and their heart, and just at least be able to dip down there, because that's where they live. And when I say owned, I kind of mean it, but I'm also metaphoric. But they're not going to do fake anything. So you can't have a fake power. You can't have a fake laugh. You can't have a fake courage. It has to be real with you, or they can't commit. And so the other thing I want to say is you have to respect their power. Their superpower is intuition. And you must be willing to sort of bow down to your Scorpio when it's appropriate around their power and acknowledge it. So let me tell you what you need to not do. You need to not force them or push them into anything. You do need to allow your Scorpio needs this from their partner, to be able to close off. Now, Scorpios can create a lot of hysteria in other people, but they will not marry a hysterical person. So that part is maddening. I know it. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Personal advice and vlog. Dear Harmony, super supporter. I love that you guys are joining. You will love it. It is just, you get a ton of stuff. And I love my super supporter community. I cherish them. So it's fantastic. Thank you. You'll love the perks. You'll get invited to my private parties and events, and it's a really beautiful, supportive, and loving community of people. So welcome. Let's see. Where am I? Okay, Scorpio. Scorpio also needs somebody who has sort of a very intense and great sexual chemistry with them. Scorpios cannot marry you if the sex is bad. They can't do it. They can't sacrifice that. So the other thing you have to do, and they'll test you for this, and this is a lot like Cancer, but you must be willing to die with their secrets still inside of you. And you must be absolutely loyal and honest. Now, here's this other thing. Do I have any Scorpios here? Okay, tell me if you guys can relate to this. Scorpios are incredibly emotional. They just don't show it. They have mastered RBF, resting bitch face. And so they're very stoic, but they are so emotional on the inside. You just will never see it. That was a question. Here's the thing about Scorpio. They are not going to give anyone in the world their heart fully. And you, my friend, must be okay with that. You have to be okay with that. You probably will get the biggest piece of their heart out of anybody in the whole world, but they will not give it all to you. They keep a piece of their heart locked up for no one. And you need to respect that. And the person who can respect that gets to marry them. So Scorpio is one person that will not give 100% of themselves away to anyone. Not even to them. They keep it. They don't even know why they do that. They just do that. Look at, so true, so true, so true. Yeah. You guys are cute. I love your comments. If you guys can rewatch this video, you probably should, and then rewatch the video with the live chat because it's really, really good. Tarika Jordan, thank you for the super chat. $9. You are so stinking sweet. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. And Tiffany. Okay, let me keep going. Sag, ninth house. The Sag needs, first and foremost, the Sag needs a marriage partner that is 0% jealous. They cannot handle a jealous partner. And they really need you to not be jealous, because they're going to give you 50,000 reasons to be jealous. And if you are a jealous partner, it's not going to work. They're not going to choose you. They cannot handle it. They just think that jealousy is so immature, and it's so infantile. They can't deal. So they also need a partner that's not interested in restraining them or questioning them about their agenda, or, they just cannot be tied down. They need space. They are like the horse in the pasture, and they need space, and they don't want to be questioned about where are they going and what are they doing. And so a lot of space for Sagittarius. And Sag needs their own activities separate from you. And they don't want a partner that stays attached to them all the time. They like to create their own individual identity, and they need you to have your own separate individual identity. And then we come together. So it's the opposite of Scorpio. Scorpio kind of wants this deep enmeshment, and Sag wants this like two train tracks going in the same direction. And then we meet at our destination and we have fun. But they like separate lifestyles a little bit. They also cannot marry someone dumb. The Sagittarius is the sign of higher education, wisdom, and intellect. They're not down in the statistics of life, but they're very bright, and they need somebody to appreciate their mind and appreciate their desire for exploring the universe and all of the universal truths that live inside of the universe. And so they need somebody smart, and they don't want they can't marry somebody who is just a buzzkill, killing their big ideas, squashing their dreams, squashing their ideas. They really need an optimistic soul to stand next to them. Most of all, I think a Sagittarius needs a partner that really believes them and believes in them and believes in their ideas and believes in their truths. And if you don't align with your Sagittarius's truths, they probably can't marry you. So they need also, this is really huge at the core, and they are like this as well, they need somebody who is forgiving, because they are sort of the wild beast. Do you know, in the zodiac, out of all of the signs and symbols, only Sagittarius is not a real thing. So they're a centaur, half beast, half man. And they're mythical. And they are the myth. They are the mythic hero in search for the Holy Grail, in search for the truth. And so because they're wild, the wild beast, if you will, they will make mistakes, and they will make mistakes all the time because they're a lot of energy. And so they don't want to have to pay for every single crime that they commit. So they need a partner at the core that has a forgiveness inside of them, a forgiving nature. And they also absolutely love and adore blunt, honest conversation, kind of like a New Yorker. They don't have a lot of time, so they don't like talking in circles. They don't like BS. They don't want to have to figure things out. They just kind of like bottom line truths, kind of like Aries. So, and of course, you guys already know this, have a friggin' passport. If you cannot travel, they probably cannot stay married to you happily. And tell me if you guys know that about Sag. Can we please stop talking about the Sagittarius? I feel the need to throw up, NASA says. You don't like Sagittarius? Or do you just want to move on to your sign? Oh my God. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work with the Sag for you. Okay, so let's go on to Capricorn. Capricorn is pretty easy. It's pretty easy to marry. I mean, it's not real complicated. So Capricorn is, you must be your word. You have to be who you say you are. You cannot say that you're, a famous singer and then really you've never sung or you've never cut an album. You got to be your word. You must be highly responsible like they are. And they like having a mutual goal. They want to build an empire together, and they need you to be dependable in your role in the relationship and be consistent in that role. So if you're going to take care of the house and they're going to take care of the paychecks, you need to consistently do your role and do it well. And they don't like to change it up. So you get good at your thing, I'm going to get good at my thing. And you know what they really, really, really need down at the core is they really need to recognize their competency. They need you to recognize their competency, their hard work, how successful they are, how much you respect them, how organized they are, how put together they are, how much you trust them, how much you depend on their brilliant self leading the charge. You know, they also need to be with somebody who wants a leader, who adores the leader in them, who adores having a person that makes life happen. And you probably need to admire that more than anything to get them to want to marry you. They're not going to marry you if you're flaky, if you're not your word. And if you have like nothing going for yourself, you're kind of just a loser, they're not going to marry you. Capricorns don't marry losers. Capricorns are kind of looking for an asset as well, like Taurus in a way. And if you have no concrete path in front of you, you need to get some goals in your life for them to respect you enough, to love you enough, to marry you enough, to stay with you. But if you have like no goals, going nowhere, they just have nothing to bite onto. They also really want you to recognize kind of that they're the boss and you're not. So if you like that, if you kind of like somebody who knows what they're doing and has it all carved out, Capricorn's awesome. But they're not going to marry somebody who cannot be an asset for their mission in life. You must be of value. And if you do, the rewards are giant. I mean, they make something of their worlds. They absolutely make something of their worlds. And if you're a part of it, they're very loyal to you and they're very dedicated to you. So Alexa says, my Venus is in Capricorn. Yeah, so you probably really need a partner that is solid on the inside. You probably won't do well with a flaky person who just is in la la land, not put together. Okay, Aquarius. Aquarius is not easy to necessarily marry, but when they find a person who can do this for them and with them, they will get married. So they're not as hard to get down the aisle as I think their reputation states. So let's see. Aquariuses need their partner to allow them to be exactly who they are, like no changes required. You know how you meet someone and then you want to change them? Yeah, that doesn't work for Aquarius. They need really deep personal freedoms inside a relationship, kind of like Sagittarius. And they can't have a partner that questions their motives or their schedules or their activities or their time. They are not going to marry you if you tell them who to be, what to do, what to wear, how to do, da, da, da. No, they don't like rules, to tell you the truth. Rules are meant to be broken in an Aquarius's mind. They don't like a lot of emotional drama. And if you force them to like listen to your feelings, they're going to become sidetracked. They can't handle a ton of emotional baggage and emotional drama, hysteria. They just cannot stand that. You have to be reasonable and rational with an Aquarian. And they also need a partner that is 0% jealous as well. And they have friends of the opposite sex, and they are super nice to everyone. And they are nicer to strangers than they are to you sometimes. And you have to be okay with that. That's part of their value system. There's a kindness to humanity, a kindness to all people. And they will extend themselves to others, especially those in need, in a way that is just so lovely and so kind. And they may not take that kind of They may not have that kind of tenderness with you at home because you're a given. And so you really have to put your jealousy in check with these people. You really need to be super supportive. They will marry you if you support their crazy ass ideas and their crazy ass ways, and you're willing to listen to them all night long. And they really also fall in love and want to marry another person that is compassionate to them, to others, and to the world. Aquariuses will not marry a cruel person. You cannot be cruel and marry an Aquarius. And they don't like a home life that is just wrought with emotional roller coaster drama. And they don't want you to need them to feel something or cry. They don't want you to try to open them up and get their emotions going. They don't like that. They don't want to become emotionally unraveled. And they need somebody, if you can be willing to set up or be okay with living sort of in an unconventional lifestyle, not just stuck in tradition, somebody who is super open-minded and not selfish, they will marry you. They really need a partner that accepts their uniqueness, and doesn't have to have it in a traditional way. Okay, that's my problem. There's too many controlling men. Pisces, we're on to Pisces. You know, Pisces, at the core, in order for them to commit to you forever and want to marry you, you must be soulful. You must touch their soul. You must be willing to step into their dreams and help their dreams come true. You must be supportive like that. You must be willing to adore and love and cherish them openly, and be willing to live a little bit out there, and allow them to also be in their uniqueness. You cannot be rude, you cannot be mean, you cannot be harsh to them or to animals. If you're cruel to animals, they will not marry you. They won't even go on a date with you. You must be a compassionate and loving person. You have to lead with love that doesn't boss them around or try to fix them. And they actually, at the deepest level, they need somebody who understands the power of unconditional love. And they need you to love them unconditionally. You know, accept their bad habits. They need to be loved despite those bad habits. And they have to, just like Sagittarius, they have to have a forgiving partner, because they're both Sag and Pisces are ruled by Jupiter, and they make mistakes because it's too much energy for either one of those signs to handle. And so they need to be with somebody who loves them even though they make mistakes. And they also, at the deepest level, they need their partner. They will marry a partner that believes in them more than they believe in their own self. They need a partner that can deal with their depression, but not abandon them. But at the same time, Pisces needs alone time. But then when they come out of their cocoon, they want to return to you without you punishing them for having gone within, because their sanctuary lives within themselves. And then if they come back out and they connect to you, they don't want to be punished for having left, and they don't want you to abandon them. They just need to go within to recharge their batteries, and they need somebody who understands that. So down deep inside, this unconditional loving partner that doesn't punish them is really what they need. They need this big support system inside their partner, and they need a deep, deep connection. They can't marry superficiality. They won't marry a gold digger. They won't marry somebody who's just in it for money. They can't do it. So that's Pisces. Can you guys all relate? Let's see what Susie's saying to me. Scorpio. Okay, so this is for Alien. Thank you for your super chat. So you want to know your advice on this subject for Sun, Moon, and Rising. Scorpio Rising, Taurus Sun, and Gemini Moon. Scorpio Rising. Okay, so Taurus Sun and Gemini Moon. Well, with the Gemini Moon, are you wondering, like, alien, are you wondering like what kind of partner is best suited, or what those deepest needs are to make a commitment? The Gemini Moon is pretty important to pay attention to with the Scorpio Rising and the Taurus Sun. And if you're Scorpio Rising, you probably have the Taurus Sun in the 7th house, which is also brainiac smart. So what I would say is, with a Gemini Moon and a Taurus Sun in the 7th house, and then Scorpio Rising, you're going to need somebody who is deeply intellectual, or a really good listener, somebody who can talk and think at the depths of the psychological level. And it's through your mind that you'll create a heart connection, the Gemini Moon. And the Taurus Sun is in the 7th house. And that makes that Taurus Sun very mentally ambitious. And the 7th house Sun needs connection, like needs to find their own reflection in another person. So you do need somebody who is not only appreciative of your incredible psychological Scorpio Moon, Gemini mind and heart, and you can go to the depths of the dark and the deep. You need somebody who appreciates that in you, but you need a partner who can also do that with you. That's probably your favorite thing to do. And so that's what's going to get you. So you also, with the Scorpio Rising, are going to need a person who can sit still with you, and the Taurus. And maybe even just when you aren't talking and communicating, which is of high value to you, that can sit in the stillness with you, be with you, and get you in a very sensual, sexual, deep, deep way, embody you. That Taurus Scorpio needs that sensuality, needs that physicality piece to it. So the mind and the body, the heart and the soul are really highly activated inside that combination. And you're looking for something pretty rare, because those are all contradictory, right? And it's a needle in a haystack. I'll be honest with you. You also will have a very hard time lowering your standards. And with that combination, it'd be very hard for you to do something fake. So it's got to kind of be all or nothing. I think you would enjoy your own company well enough, because of that Gemini Moon. You can like satisfy your own curiosities easier than being with somebody who's moderate, is 7 out of 10. I don't think you deal. I kind of think you need a 10 out of 10, or you're not playing, because you can do well enough with your own self. Claire, Vivian, Meredith, you're the best. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Okay, let's see what Susie tells me is next. Tarika Jordan. I'm a Scorpio Sun, Aquarius. Okay, I'm a Scorpio Sun, Aquarius Moon, Aries Rising. Oops. Oh my gosh, my cat. She just jumped up on me. I'm a Scorpio Sun, Aquarius Moon, Aries Rising. My boyfriend is a Leo Sun, Sag Moon, Scorpio Rising. Is that a good match? Oh my God, that's awesome. So your Scorpio Sun is on his rising. Well, that's fabulous. You get him at the soul level. Your Aquarius Moon is besties with his Sag Moon. There's no jealousy. And you guys, this is for Tarika. You'll have to tell me how jealousy plays out, because your moons can't stand jealousy. And but the Scorpio parts of you can feel jealousy at times. And his Leo Sun needs to be adored. But because he's Scorpio Rising, he probably won't tell you that. He's a very charismatic person. a Leo sun, a Sag moon, and Scorpio rising. I mean, he's got to be sexy as hell, charming, super funny, very smart. And it probably takes an Aquarius moon to get that man. And he's going to be really, really picky. So are you on here? You'll have to tell me. But that's an absolutely exceptional combination. And I think that that's a really fun relationship, Tarika. I mean, that's got to be super exciting and fun and deep and adventurous. And the Leo Aries goes so well together. This is really pretty perfect. I hope you're a super supporter, and you should order the Lovers Report because I think you'll really, really like it. Okay, let's see. These are the super chat questions. KT. Oh, here's Tiffany. Can you talk about Mars in Scorpio in the 12th house? Tiffany. Yeah, let me just look. I don't know if I have you in here already, but I might. I think I do. I have you. Isn't that exciting? Okay, so Tiffany, are you on here? Tarika, Jordan. Yeah, I would love for you to send me a picture of you guys. Send it, Tarika, send me a little picture of you guys at soulnavigation1111@gmail.com. I want to see you guys. Okay, so Tiffany, are you here? Thank you for your super chat. I'm answering the super chat questions right now. So I've got your chart right here. And you have Mars in Scorpio in the 12th house, but you're Sag rising. So Jupiter runs your chart, and you have Jupiter in Scorpio in the 11th. So Mars in Scorpio in the 12th, there's something about hidden sexuality. I'll be honest with you, Tiffany. So whenever I see Mars in the 12th house, it's like having your sexuality, your life force energy, your energy in the house that's hidden. And so there might be sexual secrets about your life. There might be secrets. There might be even, I don't know, some secrets about men how old are you? 1982. Okay, you're fairly young. And I don't know if you're on here. I hope that you still are. Oh, here she is. She's here. Okay. I mean, and I don't want to say everything out here, publicly, so we can talk later. But Mars is not really happy in the 12th house, but if I was to talk about it in a positive way, and it does go well with your sun, your moon, and your Venus, so it's not in a tragedy, but what I would say is this is the spiritual warrior. This is a person who's going to go on quest through a spiritual channel or a spiritual doorway or a spiritual portal. So this is great internal power to develop a belief system around faith. And there's a mystical quality here too, Tiffany, where you could really use your energy for a spiritual practice, a mystical practice. There could be a lot of magic. This is also the house of illusions. So you could be a magician, truthfully, literally, and also metaphorically. You could work with herbs and oils and tinctures and be a great, phenomenal healer in the healing arts with that. You could be a channel, a psychic medium with that because it's in Scorpio. Just Scorpio in the 12th house, which is Pisces' natural house, is so psychically powerful. And you have Ceres there too, right there, the asteroid Ceres. And so there's a desire in you to be a mother as well. There's something about being a mama. And you'd be really good at reading tarot or bending spoons, teaching the coffee cup how to levitate. There's a magician in you. I love it. Did I answer KT? No, I didn't. So let me look. What did she say? I'm a Capricorn rising and sun with Mars and Sag. Venus, Mercury conjunct in Aquarius. Relationships are so difficult. Yeah, KT. Oh, and thank you for your 27 Canadian dollars. I'm so excited. I really I really appreciate you. So she's a Capricorn rising, and she has her Sun and her Mars in Sagittarius. And then she has Venus, Mercury conjunct Aquarius. So the first thing I want to say about Capricorn, Sagittarius, and Aquarius is what? They don't like to be bossed around. So no one's bossing you around. And you're a woman. So you're going to either find men that are too weak for you. This is for KT. Tell me if you're still here. You're going to find men that are too weak because you don't want to be bossed around, so you won't find a bossy man, or you'll find men want to dominate and control you. And so finding a man who doesn't abuse his power with you and finding a man that has enough power is the tricky thing. Sagittarius, Aquarius, and Capricorn, those are so strong. You know, Sag doesn't really, it's very difficult to dominate a Sagittarius. It's probably even harder to dominate an Aquarius, and it's probably even harder to dominate a Capricorn. So, you know, this has so much power in it that I think you need to really look at the power play in your relationships in order to get it really right. Maybe be willing in a way to reevaluate how you do handle power. And I say that in a sweet way only because I think you probably have, without even knowing it, you can easily emasculate a partner, but at the same time, that's never your intention to do so, probably because you have your act fully put together. You're probably so freaking put together in some way in your thoughts and your truths in your world and your life and your goals that you probably don't take shit from anyone. And so you probably need to get a reading to tell you the truth, because I think we could really make headway. What I guess the little golden nugget that I would give you is be willing to not be so strong. Be willing to not have all the answers. Be willing to not do all the heavy lifting. Be willing to allow someone to love you and nurture you and help you. And you don't have to do it all. And when you stop doing it all, you'll find a man that comes with a little bit more strength. So you'll have to tell me if you relate to that. Okay, Susie, what do I got next? Here we go. Pika Lee, I am a Libra. I am a Libra sun. Hold on. Okay, Pika Lee, I'm a Libra sun, Aquarius moon, and Sag rising. Oh my God, well, that's lovely. All that goes well together. When you have a great sun, moon, rising, it makes life a little bit easier. Who would be compatible with me? On one hand, I'm curious about relationship. On the other, I need my freedom and space. Well, a Libra sun is compatible with anybody. I'm going to be honest. Libras and Pisces are the universal love. And they literally can go with any energy. But if you found another Sagittarius or Aquarius or Leo, that would be truly exciting, or Libra. So I think your best options are Libra, Aquarius, Sag, Leo, and even Gemini. If they're put together enough. Libra and Gemini are really good together, but both signs are kind of ambivalent, not knowing what they want. So if the Gemini has a tiny bit of Cancer or Taurus in them, that might be really helpful for you to kind of ground you if they're not too possessive. Granted, if they are a Gemini, they probably won't be, and they probably won't be jealous of your beauty. You must be gorgeous and charming and fun and larger than life in some way. And Gemini would accept the quirky parts of you and the parts of you that need space, you know? and they will be smart enough for the Sag rising and the Aquarius moon and the Libra. Those are all three very smart signs. The Sagittarius, the Aquarius, and the Libra sun. So Gemini would be really quite fun for you. Okay, who's next? I know somebody else gave me a big super. And you guys are so stinking sweet. Susie, do I have anybody else? Let's see. Oh, Ron, Edith gave me something, $25. That's so sweet of you. It says Edith Panatescu. Ron, $25. That's so stinking sweet. Thank you so much. I'm going to buy a new microphone. Oh, here's Edith. Hello, I'm a Cancer sun, Gemini rising, Libra moon. I'm very attracted to a Taurus sun with a Libra moon as well. Don't know the rising sign, but he is much younger, 16 years younger. Is this a good match? Okay, you're a Cancer sun, Gemini rising, and Libra moon. I'm very attracted to a Taurus sun with a Libra moon. Okay, let me just tell you, when you meet your moon sign, that's the deepest part of your soul. So you cannot not love your own moon sign. So on that side, that's phenomenal. And there's probably a soul connection between the two of you. I love Taurus and Cancer. He's a Taurus sun and you're a Cancer sun. That is so gorgeous. I love that. That's like my favorite combination, my second favorite combination in the zodiac. Aquarius, Sagittarius is my first. Cancer, Taurus is my second, out of all 122 combinations that you could have. But what I want to say is, hold on. I wish we knew his rising. That's okay. I like that you're a Gemini rising, but that Gemini rising Libra moon might get impatient. That Taurus is so slow. I mean, it makes a slug look fast. And so he's probably going to frustrate you, Edith, with how slow he goes. Also, the Taurus sun is pretty traditional and conventional, and he may, down deep inside, while he doesn't confess it, he may eventually struggle with the age difference, just to be honest, because it is Taurus and Taurus likes tradition. Taurus doesn't, you're Gemini rising, you're the fountain of youth. You probably look and act younger than he does with his Taurus sun. And so that's cool, and he'll like that, but down deep inside, and I don't know if he'll get honest with you about it, because Tauruses don't really like to create truthful conflict. Eventually he might struggle. So if he doesn't take you out and about, doesn't introduce you to his family, doesn't, take you into the inner circle of his life, if he keeps you kind of private, you'll know that he's struggling with that age difference. And I'm just being honest with you because it's Taurus and you're Gemini rising. So you're very open-minded. Age is just a number, right? Geminis are the most open-minded of the whole zodiac, even more so than Aquarius. And the reason why is because they're mutable. And so you don't have a problem with any of it. You don't have a problem that he's 16 years younger, not at all. And you probably look 20 years younger. So that's awesome. But we're talking about him. And I think you're going to see that he's a little bit more resistant and slow. So enjoy him while you can. Enjoy him behind the scenes. Get what you can from it. If he makes you feel loved and safe and nurtured, that's exciting. I love it. Okay. Let's see. Jaded Kate. Venus conjunct Mars in Virgo in the 6th. Well, I love that. You'll be like really, highly skilled. And thank you for your super chat, Jaded Kate. Sun in Scorpio in the 6th. Well, that can't be. You can't have Virgo and Scorpio in the 6th. So Jaded Kate wrote, Venus conjunct Mars in Virgo in the 6th. Sun in Scorpio in the 6th, conjunct Mercury and Saturn. I don't think you meant the 6th. Moon in Cancer in the 3rd, Uranus in the 7th, Jupiter in the 7th. Okay, so what is your question? Jaded Kate. Jaded Kate. If you're still here, maybe just write on the chat, what is your question? And I don't think your sun in Scorpio is in the 6th with Virgo in the 6th. It is? I have to do your chart. So you must have an Jaded Kate. Yes, it is. Just general info. Okay. So you must have a late Venus conjunct Mars, then you have an intercepted Libra, and then you must have an early Scorpio. So you just have a giant 6th house. I mean, that's like crazy. You have Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio all in the 6th house. So you have an intercepted sign. And late. So the most important thing to you is you should really listen to all my Virgo. And you should watch my whole Virgo playlist, and you should really study the mastery, self-mastery, self-perfection at the deepest psychological level. Jaded Kate, is what's important to you. And taking that self-mastery, mastering a skill, a tool, a talent. And I love that your name is Jaded Kate, because Scorpios are jaded and they're cynical and they're skeptical. And so you must question everything probably, and you're probably very discerning, and you're probably way down in the weeds of life, like details really matter to you. So transformation and self-mastery is your gift, but don't let the music die inside of you. You're supposed to give this talent away to others through service. And become a healer. The 6th house like that, if you've got Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio in the 6th house, which I haven't seen your chart, but, and it is possible, but it's very, 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 very rare, that Libra has 30 full degrees in your 6th house. You have to use your talents and your gifts to serve other people, to help other relationships. And you'll be really good at it, and people will see you as a healer. Thank you so much for all of your information. I'm glad you're learning tarot. You'll be really good at it. You'll be quite precise with it. You're very precision oriented, and you'll be very, very good at it. And with the Scorpio there, you'll be able to receive messages from spirit. Serenity Journey says, hey, we're not cynical and skeptical. We just see the darkness as well as the light in the world. Yes, it's true. But you lead with, Scorpios usually lead with looking for the problem, like looking for, they don't just take life as, they don't see through an optimistic lens. They see through, like Virgo, a discernment. So they look for the crack. They look for, what could go wrong here. They look for the problem before the problem even happens. They can look around corners with nobody even knowing it, because they're a little bit cynical around, oh, this perfect paradise is just this perfect paradise. No, they know there's something else underneath. So thank you for that, Serenity Journey, because I value you and I love your comments. I love your depth. I love your wisdom. I love your chart. And so I do appreciate you saying that, so I could speak to it. So I could make that analogy just a little bit better. Sometimes I talk too fast. Okay, let's see what Susie's saying to me. Oh my God. Susie, do you want me to end the questions? Yeah, probably, because we probably need to go. So I'll just answer these. That was Jaded Kate. This is going to be for Sylvia. And she gave me 50 PLN. Thank you. Hello, beautiful. Libra rising with Pluto. It's a little fuzzy. I can't read it. Libra rising with Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, all in Libra in the 1st house. And Venus, Mars, and Sun in Pisces in the 6th house. Wow. What do you think? Libra rising with Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, all in Libra in the 1st house, and Venus, Mars, Sun, and Pisces in the 6th house. Okay, well, your personal planets are in the sixth house and the outer planets are in the first house. So you come with really massively big power and you come with Libra power. So you come with people power. I'm going to tell you that because the sixth house is in service to other people. The first house is the body, is the self, but it's all Libra, right? It's in the sign of Libra. So mastering the art of relationships for Sylvia is so important to you. Really understanding people in this world, doing people basically is how you will serving people. Also, probably you're probably also into animals too, because that sixth house is Pisces. You probably love beauty, peace, harmony, unconditional love. You're a champion for the underdog with that Pisces. You're a strong leader with having all that first house, but then you put it into service with the sixth house in a Piscean way, which is caring for the underdog, carrying a heavy load for others who cannot carry it themselves, and mastering sort of the art of loving other humans is here, is what you're here for. Frisky dingo's cute. I think my right eye sees through the dark lens and my left eye sees the light. So I see the whole picture. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's see. This is for Monique Royer, a member for 13 months. Aw, thank you. You get the crown. Whenever you guys see a crown, that's a super supporter that has been with me for a year or more. And I really appreciate you, Monique. It's really sweet. I love having you in my inner circle. I'm a Scorpio sun, a Sag rising, and a Libra moon. My husband is a Capricorn sun, Aries rising, and a Taurus moon. Well, in an odd way, it all works, doesn't it? Even though you guys are totally opposite. So he's an Aries rising. So the coolest thing about that is your Libra moon is in his house of marriage. So you really love the guy. And your Scorpio sun likes power and he's a Capricorn. So he brings some quiet strength and power, especially because he's an Aries. And one thing about Scorpio and Aries, while I don't think it's necessarily the best combination, they both share the same ruler, which is Mars. So you're kind of a badass in a fun, beautiful way. Scorpio, Sag, Libra. And he's kind of a badass in a hard-working, strong way. And so this is interesting. It's like you've got three rivers and he has three rivers, and somehow they each match up. I like this combination. I think for your Sag rising, you probably are really good for him. Like you will be the optimist, you will see the beauty, you will see the light, and you will help him become a happier person. I hope you're still here, Monique. But I do think you inject joy into your lives and he provides you with a security that you can count on. That's a really cool combination and a really cool relationship. Okay, this is my last one, I think, right, Susie? Oh yeah, Susie says last one. She's taking good care of me. Everybody should get a reading with Susie, and you get a discount if you're a super supporter. She's amazing. And this is for Jordan from New York. Thanks for your $5. You know, $5. You're so sweet, and New York is so damn expensive. So thank you. I really appreciate it. I have my rising in Capricorn, my sun in Pisces, my moon in Gemini, my Venus in Aquarius. I need help. Oh my God. Okay, are you here, Jordan? So cute. Okay, that's a lot. So the first thing I want to invite you to do is your Capricorn rising. Oh, and by the way, for my super supporters. I'm going to use one of my super supporters charts, and I might do more than one. And I'm going to show you in my next video, I'm going to show you how I read a chart. Just like 3 steps in how I pick it apart. And I'm going to do it with, a couple of the super supporters real charts. Okay, so you have to go see what Saturn, Jordan, are you here? You have to go see what Saturn is doing in your chart, and that's your generator, that's your ruler. And so Saturn is super important because you're Capricorn rising. I like Capricorn rising with Pisces because water and earth grow things, and Pisces wants to grow things, and so does Capricorn. And so you can grow what? Pisces things: music, song, poetry, love, relationships, art, spirituality, something deep and soulful and meaningful. Your Venus in Aquarius is going to love the mission that the Pisces Capricorn creates. And you're probably going to, Jordan, want to have a mission that helps society or humanity in some way improve itself. With the moon in Gemini, you are so stinking smart that you'll be quite analytical. You'll do your research. You're going to feel a tiny bit lost, like, what do I want to put my energy into? But with that Capricorn rising, just pick one thing and do it. And that will lead you to the next and the next and the next and the next. But you really are here, Pisces, Aquarius, Gemini. You're here to concretize, if you will, put in a concrete Saturnian routine, somehow helping advance a sect, a society, a piece, a part of humanity, helping the unfortunate. That's that sun in Pisces. And you could do it through music. You could do it in an unconventional way. It doesn't mean that you have to go down and work at the food bank, although that wouldn't be a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you have to make solve homelessness, if you will, although you could. I like the work that Sean Penn is doing. It'd be really cool to get into that organization, helping homelessness in Los Angeles. I don't even know where you live. Oh, you're in New York. But I love Sean Penn's mission, and he's gone to Haiti and all of that. But that's what this chart reminds me of. Sean Penn's nonprofit organization that he has launched. He's incredible. Okay, that's my last one. Let's see. Am I good, Susie? She's all done for today. Also, if you want to book with Connie Jo, you get that 10% off. Yes, thank you. You guys are so stinking sweet. Use my chart and add me in the drawing. Okay, Tiffany, I'll put you in. I'm going to just randomly draw for anybody who said, if you're a super supporter and you want me to use your chart, and if you haven't told me yet, if you have told me, I've already marked it down, but if you haven't told me, just let me know and I will put you in the hat to draw, and then I'm gonna show the charts. Anyways, this was so fun. God, it was a long day, wasn't it? But thank you all for being here. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question. Gosh, I appreciate the super chats more than you know. Every little dime helps. I really appreciate you, and I apologize if I didn't get to your question. And for anybody who wanted to write to me, you can send me an email. Okay, be patient with me if you signed up, because I'm behind a little bit. As you can see, people are mad at me that I don't work fast enough. I know, I've been down for the count with my surgery, but thank you all for your good wishes, and take good care. Bye.